A blessed morning, everyone. So here I am again. I am Giselle Harigori, and this time we will tackle about a novel titled "To Kill a Mockingbird," written by an author, Harper Lee. So we will answer several questions reflecting the novel. So let us start first with question number one. What makes the literary piece a significant contribution to the world? So the story To Kill a Mockingbird has a significant contribution to the world, for it explores readers' themes of racial prejudice and injustice, as well as love and the coming of age of the different characters. And it was published just as the United States civil rights movement was gaining momentum and has resonated with readers across cultural rights. It has a huge impact on people, of course. The next is give your 10-sentence summary of your understanding of the literary piece. So, To Kill a Mockingbird takes place in the fictional town of Macomb, Alabama during the Great Depression. The protagonist is Jean Louise Scout Finch, an intelligent though unconventional girl who ages from 6 to 9 years old during the course of the novels, and his father is a prominent lawyer who encourages his children to be empathetic and just. And Tom Robinson, one of the town's black residents, is falsely accused of raping Mayela Ewell, a white woman. Atticus agrees to defend him despite threats from the community. Then the children meanwhile play out their own miniaturized drama of prejudice and superstition as they become interested in Arthur Bradley, a reclusive neighbor who is a local legend. They have their own ideas about him and cannot resist the allure of trespassing on the Radley property. And Boo makes his presence felt indirectly through a series of benevolent acts, finally intervening when Bob Ewell attacks Jim and Scout. Boo kills Ewell, but Hecate, the sheriff, believes it is better to say that Ewell's death occurred when he fell on his own knife. Sparing the shy Boo from unwanted attention, Scout agrees, noting that to do otherwise would be sort of like shooting a mockingbird. The next is, if it is a story, then give at least 3 important characters with description, settings with description, theme, plot, and so the 3 characters are: number 1 is Scout Finch, the narrator and the protagonist of the story. Then she is Jean Louise. Scout Finch lives with her father Atticus, her brother Jim, and their Black Cook, California, in Macomb. She is intelligent and, by the standards of her time and place, Scout has a combative streak and a basic faith in goodness of the people in her community. As the novel progresses, this faith is tested by the hatred and prejudice that emerge during Tom Robinson's trial. Scout eventually develops a more grown-up perspective that enables her to appreciate human goodness without ignoring human evil. The next is Jim Finch. In the story, Jim is a representation of bravery, courage, and good character. He is a just, honest, and caring little boy who loves her sister very much. The main role he plays in the story is the representation of an innocent child who believes that a prior world is a safe place where everyone is a good citizen. Then last character is Atticus Finch. The most prominent character traits of Atticus Finch are his compassion, thoughtfulness, honesty, and morality. Atticus strongly advocates that people are equal regardless of their background and skin color. Then, the setting of the story. To Kill a Mockingbird takes place in Macomb, Alabama during 1933 to 1935. This year places the events of the novel squarely within 2 important periods of American history: the Great Depression and the Jim Crow era. The Great Depression is reflected in the poverty that affects all of the residents of Macomb. Then, the theme of the story. the coexistence of good and evil. The most important theme of To Kill a Mockingbird is the book's exploration of the moral nature of human beings, that is, whether people are essentially good or essentially evil. To Kill a Mockingbird follows Scout approaches. Next theme is prejudice. Throughout To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout witnesses many different types of prejudice and even promote these attitudes herself, including classism, sexism, and racism. Regardless of the type of prejudicial worldview, each one of us should treat people as stereotyped groups, demand conformity, and doesn't give any credit to individual. So that's not a good thing to do. Over and over again, To Kill a Mockingbird illustrates how prejudice can be close-minded and dangerous, as well as seemingly benign, but in all cases, it's ridiculous and misguided. Next is courage. Many people in To Kill a Mockingbird confuse courage with strength and believe that courage is the ability or willingness to use strength to get one's way. However, the novel makes it abundantly clear that understanding of courage is immature at best and is possibly wrong altogether. Instead, the novel proposes that courage isn't about winning. Instead, it's about thinking about something and choosing to do what's right, even if doing so is difficult. The next is racism and social class. In the story, Tom was being accused of rape because of his skin color and based on his living status. And he is a poor man. We should respect and love one another no matter what color his or her skin is or what social classes they belong. They deserve to be well treated. Then the plot of the story. So exposition. To Kill a Mockingbird starts off with the narrator telling the reader about the setting. We learn that the narrator is Jane Lewis Scout Finch, and the story takes place in the small town of Macomb, Alabama around the 1930s. In the first couple of chapters, the reader is introduced to Atticus Finch, Jeremy Finch, Calpurnia, Miss Modi, Charles Bakers, Harris, Dale, Tom Robinson, Bob Ewell, and Boo Radley. The story mainly follows the lives of Scout, Jim, and Atticus Finch in Macomb, and in the beginning of the story, one of the emerging conflicts in the story is Scout and Jim becoming older and facing the realities and challenges of adult life. Rising action. Scout and Jim meet Dale and tell them about the story of Boo Radley and how the neighborhood comes of this house. They tell him there is a myth that says that Boo is forced to stay inside because he supposedly stabbed his father with a pair of scissors when he was a boy. Then, the climax of the story. The high point of To Kill a Mockingbird is when Scout and Jim are walking home from the Halloween pageant and Bob Ewell attacks them. Then Boo Radley comes out of his house to save the children from their attacker. Following action, Bob Ewell is stabbed to death by Boo Radley. Jim broke his arm while trying to fend off Bob Ewell. Sheriff Tate comes over and tells Atticus that they will say Bob Ewell fell on his own knife, even though they knew Boo killed him. They are protecting Boo from all the publicity. Scout finally meets Boo Radley and gets talked to him. Then the resolution of the novels or the story. Scout walks Boo home and finds herself standing on Boo Radley's porch. She finally realizes what Atticus meant by saying you never know someone until you put yourself in their shoes. And on the porch, Scout sees the world from Boo's perspectives and realizes that chooses to stay inside and is normal. She then knows that the way treated Boo by playing games about him was wrong. Then, next is, what are your comments? Back to this next slide. So what are your comments to the assigned literary piece? So this literary piece titled To Kill a Mockingbird serves as huge realization that social class is not important thing. People can be whatever they want to be, even they are poor. Everyone should be treated equally because we are just human beings. We deserve the highest value of respect. Always remember that you should not use your position for evil doing. Use it in a good way where you can help others. So, let me end this video report in Proverbs 28 verse 6. Better is poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. I hope you will reflect, learn from my video report. So, thank you for listening.